What is up guys, this is Tito back with another video on the Redmi Note 10 Pro, and today in this video I'm going to be showing you the latest SparkOS based on Android 13. And I was a little afraid to try this ROM because sometimes there is some issues with the 64 megapixel units, because my device is a Redmi Note 10 Pro, not a Redmi Note 10 Pro Max, and of course this is an Indian Redmi Note 10 Pro 61 megapixel version. So sometimes the front camera becomes weird with some ROMs. And I tried the Alpha Droid. Here the ANX camera or the Leica camera was force closing. That's why I was a little afraid, because you have to format data and stuff. Switching ROMs is a little weird on the Redmi Note 10 Pro, but here let me tell you, I have switched to the SparkOS and I have been daily driving this ROM for a couple of days now, and my experience overall has been amazing. But I have to mention one thing after switching to this ROM. I did try to restore the Google app data backup and stuff, but that simply did not work for me for some reason. Like the call logs and the messages were not restored after flashing this ROM. Make sure to back up your SMS and call logs with an app like SMS Backup and Restore, and I have used that and it has been working perfectly fine afterwards. The build date of this SparkOS is 21st March 2023, and I think it comes with both GApps and the vanilla variants, but I have of course flashed the GApps included variant. The flashing guide will be present in the description. It's pretty simple. If you format data, flash firmware, flash the ROM, and you just reboot. And let me tell you that for the Indian Redmi Note 10 Pro units, I will recommend the MIUI 13 firmware still. So the firmware will be linked in the description. Do not flash the MIUI 14 firmwares yet, I guess, because there could be some issues. So I have flashed the MIUI 13 firmware, and with that 13.0.1 I think, and with that I did not face any issues. That's a firmware vendor, by the way. Let me show you the about section. This is how it looks like. We have the version as 13.5.5 of the SparkOS version, and the Android version is of course 13. So huge thanks to the developers of this ROM, and this is the official ROM, you can see. But the security patch here is of February 5th 2023, not quite March yet, if you're noticing. And the stock kernel here is the 4.14 Aginsa R9 kernel, and the baseband version shows like this, and here is the storage capacity. In the system panel, this is how it looks like. We have the gestures, but there is no system updater, as you are noticing. In the gestures option, we get multiple things like the quick tap or the back tap feature. You can use it for all of these options if you enable it. And we have the quickly open camera and stuff. There is the system navigation gestures. In the settings of it, we do have the full screen gestures, the advanced gesture, or the extended swipe action, and you can customize it between these many options. A lot of them are present. So this ROM has huge customization all over the place. We have the pill length and the pill radius customization, and I did customize that. We have the hide IME button space, swipe to invoke assistant and stuff. And let me talk about the IME button space. It is a lot more. If you just turn it off, the space under the keyboard is just a lot more on this ROM. So that's why I have enabled this one. Let me go back. We have the 2-button and 3-button navigations as well. In the settings of it, we have the inverse layout options. Then we have the one-handed mode that should be working perfectly fine. Press and hold power button action. Then we have the double tap and the swipe quick screenshot. That is also working perfectly fine. There is the share, edit, delete, and the Google Lens feature. You can use it if you want. Then we have the playback control, prevent ringing, all of these options. Let's talk about the home screen. This is how it looks like. Well, we do have a Leica camera. I'll show you that later. By default, we get the Leica camera, so that's great. Now, in terms of the home screen, again, we get a Spark launcher, I guess. Let me actually show you. Yes, this is a Spark launcher, and in the settings of it, we have the MISC settings like the hidden product tabs, suggestions you can disable, and we have this use taskbar and stuff. Let me go back. In the recents, we can customize that to like enable memory info position you can change, and the screenshot lens and the clear all button and stuff. All these things you can customize. This is how it looks like, the recents panel. I mean, we have the screenshot, the lock app, and the Google Lens option. On the bottom, you can see the RAM usage, and the clear all button is on the middle. This is a toast button. Let me go back. We have the app drawer. We have the themed icons, app search bar, icon labels in drawer and stuff. Then we have the home screen customization. Here we get the double tap to sleep anywhere in the home screen. We do have the wallpaper scrolling and zooming. Then the swipe to access Google Apps, status bar, top shadow. And if you scroll down more, we have the at a glance and the Google search bar, etc. options. Let me go back. In the icons, we have the icon pack, notification dots, etc. options, and you can customize the icon size, font size, etc. Now, while I'm talking about it, let me tell you, overall experience of using this ROM is very fluid. I was using the Evolution X ROM, and after switching, I have to say going through the UI is much more smoother, and it's a lot more fast experience with 120 Hz and stuff. And here, just notice the scrolling of like the Google's Discover page. It is very fast and smooth experience. And here swiping up will get you to the app drawer. Of course, you can see the frosted glass kind of effect, the background blur on the app drawer, and the searching and stuff is working perfectly fine, no issues. And swiping down will get you to the quick setting panel, and even the quick setting panel is, I feel, a lot more smoother, and overall experience of this is really great. And the widgets are working fine, and the animations, if you are noticing, are working perfectly fine. The battery widget is also working fine. I have added that, and all the Android 13 kind of widgets will be working perfectly fine. You should not worry about it. Also, the double tap to sleep is working perfectly fine again, and the always on display, I have enabled that, and that is working fine. And just tapping on the fingerprint scanner, as you can see, it unlocks. Let me show you one more time. So yeah, very fast and snappy experience of unlocking, I would say. Let me show you one more time. And yeah, overall the locking and unlocking experience is really good. And let me show you the double tap to wake, and yes, that is also working perfectly fine. I've been using the nothing clock font over here for the lock screen clock, and you can definitely change the fonts of this in the customization. You can see all of those. And here, let me actually show you. By swiping up, you can use the face unlock, and as you can see, there is the front camera black borders. Let me show you one more time. As you are noticing, in the front camera, there is a black border whenever you're using the front camera. So there won't be any halo effect or something while you are doing a video call. And here, let me show you the AppLock again. And this is how the AppLock UI looks like. And if you locked a particular app, if you tap the fingerprint scanner, it just opens and goes into wherever you left it. So this is great. All the locking and unlocking things are working perfectly fine here, no issues. In terms of the quick setting panel, this is how it looks like. So I did change the quick setting panel style. That's why you are seeing this kind of look. But yeah, you can change the styles if you want. Now let me show you. We have the power menu right here, and if you tap on restart, you can directly reboot to the recovery or fast boot from right here, no issues. And the background blur appears really smoothly, as you can see. Also, you can edit and multiple toggles, but let me show you what toggles I have. I have the Wi-Fi, mobile data, the Bluetooth toggle, and the Bluetooth battery stats and stuff shows up on the status bar, no issues with that. The flashlight is working perfectly fine. You can see the turning on and off animations. The dark theme is there. The Google Home controls, auto rotate battery saver, and the screen recorder is also there. It is working fine. There is the HEVC and the device audio and microphone audio recording at the same time, and all other features are working fine. There is the heads up, always on display. And the sound toggle is also there. The reboot toggle is there. The volume panel and the FPS info appears like this, as you can see. And we have the live display option. You can make it to the outdoor bright sun mode if you want. That works fine. And the refresh rate you can change from right here. Ambient display and the do not disturb alarm. In the airplane mode, scan QR code, screencast, nearby share, and even the Dolby Atmos is here. Let me actually show you. Yes, it is there, and you can customize it however you want to. One thing is a little bit surprising over here that I have to mention, that there is no anti-flicker option right out of the box over here. In the quick setting panel or in the display settings, no anti-flicker option is present in this ROM. And there is the brightness slider on the bottom because I have customized it that way, and you can enable the auto brightness from here if you want. Now jumping into the settings panel, this is how it looks like. In the fireworks, you will get all the customizations that you would want. In the theme section, we have the Monet theme engine, and in here you can customize the colorfulness, the brightness, and the other things. Now here in the font settings, you get plethora of fonts over here. You do have the nothing dot font and stuff, no issues with that. And all the fonts like the Samsung one and stuff are there. And here we have the icon packs, and these are the options that you get. Now individually you can customize the signal icons as well. Plethora of options are here. Even the Wi-Fi icon styles you can customize. Then we have the icon shape customization. Also we have the navbar style. You can customize it between these many options. And we have this menu style. You can change it to Oxygen OS style and stuff. The Spark Clean options are there, but I have been using it with the AOSP because I like it. We have the sub menu header, main menu header, and the use card option. And in here also we have the vertical layout. Then we have the columns for portrait and landscape. And the brightness slider position, you can change it to show always from here. And the position you can change. And the auto brightness icon you can enable or disable. Then the quick setting style you can change it from here. I'll show you the other quick setting toggles in a screenshot or something. So this is how they look like with different options. And this is great. In a system info, you can actually switch it to the battery temperature, CPU temperature, GPU frequency, etc. I have enabled it for the battery temperature, and in here in the quick setting panel, I can always see the battery temperature. This is a really great feature, I would say. And we have the blur media notification artwork and the vibrate on toggle touch, and other options like the material dismiss button, volume panel style, etc. you can change. By the way, default volume panel looks like this. And you can expand the volume panel just like this. And once you're playing music, this is how it looks like, the volume panel I mean. And you can expand the volume panel just like this. You can increase or decrease the volume from here. You can change the output device I mean. And we have the app volume as well. You can enable it from the sound settings, I guess. And you can turn or decrease or increase the volume from right here, and again expansion works perfectly fine. Also the live caption is there. The good thing is you can also change it to real MIUI style or Rise UI style if you don't like the default one. In the lock screen settings, we have the signal shortcut, then we have the custom lock screen color, and we have the clock font style. These are the font styles that you will get, and plethora of options are there, I have to say. Amazing amount of options, and you can actually see which clock font is which one. I have been using it again with the nothing dot, and you can also change the lock screen date and stuff, like the font of the date itself you can actually change. So huge amount of customizations everywhere in this ROM, I have to say. And we have this bottom space, large clock size, and everything you can customize. Then we have the ambient AOD customization. Then we have the charging animation, so charging info in lock screen. Secure quick setting tiles options are there, and we have the quick pull down as well, you can enable it. And we have the blur for the media artwork and stuff, and the lock screen pulse you can enable if you want. In the status bar, we have the status bar items, headset, Bluetooth, etc. kind of icons you can enable. And we have the clock and date style, you can enable and customize it however you want. The battery bar you can also enable if you want. The network traffic option, and the logo, then the colored icons. And we have the show Wi-Fi standard again, and we have the combined signal icons as well. Roaming indicator 4G icon instead of LTE, and we have the VoLTE icon styles. You can change it from right here by just tapping on plus or minus, and the view Wi-Fi icon you can also enable if you are using it. The battery styles you can change it from like landscape right or left, circle, dotted circle, etc. options are there, and the battery percentage you can customize from right here next to the icon or inside the icon, left or right, etc. And you have the follow battery style for the quick setting panel, and the battery estimate is also there. And the status bar padding I did have to actually customize, but yeah, you can do it however you want. In the gestures, we have the long press button toggle torch, and the brightness control by sliding a finger on the status bar does work perfectly fine. Also, we have the double tap to sleep on the lock screen and status bar both, and the tap to wake on doors option is there. In the MISC settings, we have the screen of animation and stuff you can customize, and the Android P style and the quick setting page transition. This is for the animation, I guess, for just swiping on the quick setting panel. Spark system manager is there, you can enable it if you want. I did not actually do that. Heads up you can customize. Also the ambient edge lighting, I did test it, it is working fine. And the unlimited Google photo storage, unlock higher FPS in games, everything you can get over here. Smart pixel is there as well. There is an ad block by default, so this is great. You can actually use it if you don't like to see ads, but just disable it for YouTube maybe while watching my videos. And we have the alert slider notification and the ignore window secure flags. In the power menu, we have this disable power menu on lock screen for security. We have the advanced restart, and if you scroll down more, you can customize the things what you need in power menu. And of course, you can change the power menu animation. Also the power menu style, you can change it to this light, full, and the classic one, and you can go as old as Android 7, I guess. Let me talk about the stock camera. Well, this is the Leica camera that you are getting. It is working perfectly fine. The viewfinder may look a little bit faded, but yeah, you have the Leica options like the Leica Vibrant and Authentic. You get all of these options, and in the portrait mode as well, let me actually show you. Yeah, it is working perfectly fine, no issues. You can enable the flashes and stuff if you want, just like this, and it does this kind of animation once you enable the front camera flash. So yeah, it is actually working fine. I have tested it, no issues. There is a 64 megapixel mode and stuff if you want to enable that. Also, let me show you in the video settings, you get too much options, I would say. Let me actually show you over here. You get up to 4K 60 FPS, but that does not work on this device. Make sure you set it up to 4K 30 FPS. That's when it will work. There is the audio zoom and super macro lens and stuff. Everything is there. Let me actually show you. Yes, super macro lens is also working perfectly fine. No issues. And in the pro mode also, you can shoot pro mode videos by just like changing the white balance, focus, and the shutter speed, ISO, everything you can customize, and you can do that up to 4K 30 FPS. Again, that is huge. We have the documents mode. Then if you just swipe up, and if you enable this option to swipe up in the settings, the vlog pro, slow motion, sticker avatars, and the long exposure, and the normal vlog mode and stuff, everything is here. You do not need to worry about this like a camera, and the shutter speed is decent, I would say. Let me actually show you by taking a picture. As you can see, I just clicked on it and the picture has been taken, and the quality is marvelous, I have to say. And in here, this is a 16 megapixel photo, and even if I take a portrait selfie, let me actually show you quickly. So I just took that selfie, and let me just open it. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time, but yeah, overall, as you can see, the quality is good. And in the info, this is a 16 megapixel photo again. So yes, the selfie quality and all the optimization of the photos is working perfectly fine with this Leica camera, and that is just great to see. Even with my 64 megapixel unit, this is working perfectly fine, I have to say. Now in the display settings, we have the brightness level, adaptive or auto brightness. In the lock screen, we have the face unlock customization for when swiping up if you set it up. And we have this control from lock device for the Google Home controls, double line clock. Always show time and info is the always on display, of course. And in here we have the pickup gesture. As you can see, this is the one. If you just disable the always on display, you can enable it. Let me actually test the pickup option if it's working. So yeah, it is actually working fine. And here, if I just tap the fingerprint scanner, it just unlocks. And you can disable the wake screen for notification if you want. Let me go back. Now in the display settings, there is a really interesting option. I'll show you that. But in the dark theme, you can schedule it. I did schedule it. It is working perfectly fine with the dark theme. And we have the live display over here, and you can change it to day or night or automatic if you want. And we have the minimum and maximum refresh rate changing option. I have forced it to 120 Hz, no issues with that. Smooth display is there, and we have the low power refresh rate, double tap to wake, prevent accidental wake up on plug, and the full screen apps. You can change particular apps to full screen by selecting over here. Now this is huge. There is a desktop mode right here, and this is like a Samsung Dex or something, and I have tested it with my PC. And for that, you just have to go over here and just like enable the scaling as you would want. You can go to this particular website, getlibermobileos.com and /desktop. And in this particular website, you have to download the client for PC. And after you do that, you get a Samsung Dex kind of window, and you have to enable the USB debugging on the device. Make sure you do that. Once you do that, you just connect a USB cable to the PC with the phone. And after that, you will get a Samsung Dex kind of window. And over there, you can launch any particular app that you would like to use on your PC from your phone. That is just huge. And you can see I have tried to open multiple apps, and they are working fine, but some apps like the Google camera and stuff was working, but there was no back option. It is a little buggy. Some apps does force close. You have to keep that in mind, but it does work. Sometimes with like very high resolution videos in YouTube, it is starting to lag a little bit, I have to say, but otherwise it is a perfectly fine experience. If you just want to use your particular apps from the device to your PC, this is a really great option. But let me tell you, this desktop mode on TV, it may not work because this device does not have a USB 3 USB-C port. So USB-C to HDMI may not work. In the battery settings, this is how it looks like. We do have a thermal profiles, and here you can set particular apps to benchmarks if you want, browser, camera, dialer, etc. options. The green kind of battery bar looks beautiful. We have the smart cutoff. You can enable it if you want. If it reaches a certain temperature, it will stop charging, I guess. So this is really great. And we have the battery temperature seeing option over here. App refresh rate, you can change it from right here again. But let me tell you, there is no battery charging cycle or current or design battery capacity. All those things are simply not present over here. Except for that, talking about the battery life, here I have got about 8 hours of screen on time. This is an estimated screen on time, guys. So take it with a pinch of salt, I would say. Overall, with my kind of usage, I will get about 8 hours of screen on time. That is estimated. And we have the screen off as 46 hours, and the combined use, you can see it's about 9 hours. So yeah, overall, I would say the battery life that I have been getting is really good. And my battery health, if you're noticing, is about at 83%. So yeah, with my battery health, the battery life that I have been getting is really good. With 120 Hz all day long, there's a really good battery life, I feel. Also, the fast charging is working perfectly fine. You do not need to worry about it. Now in the sound settings, this is how it looks like. We have the media, call, ring, etc. volume controls. If you scroll down more, we have the phone ringtone and others changing option. Then if you scroll down even more, we have the screen locking sound, touch sound, vibration, but have volume controls, show volume panel on the left side. Even the volume steps are there if you need it. And we have the in-call vibration options. In here, we also get the Mi Audio DAC, and you do get this newer kind of look of the Mi Audio DAC. And from here, you get plethora of options, including with the Bluetooth options. So this is great. And we have the choose preset option as well. There is the bass booster, bass reduction, etc. Scene option is also there because of the Dolby Atmos, I guess. And let me talk about one more thing inside vibration and haptics. I had to just disable this touch feedback because it was a little too harsh. Every time I just like scroll like this, there is a haptic feedback. So that's why I just like turned it down all the way. And of course, in the security, in the settings of it, we do have the quick unlock and the touch fingerprint unlock options if you need that. And I've already showed you the fingerprint scanner speed and stuff. You will get all the options right over here. In the more settings, you will get the AppLock. Let's talk about the basic things, the certifications. Yes, it passes the Safetynet test right out of the box. You do not need to worry about it at all. Banking apps are working fine without any problems. Also, the DNO info shows as L1 here, so you can stream Netflix or Amazon Prime videos in 1080p without any issues. Let me show you the IR blaster, and it is actually working fine if you're looking at that light on top. Also, you do get the unlimited Google Photos backup over here. You do not need to worry about it. And with the new Google Photos update, there is the magic eraser which will appear. You can use it if you want. Overall, in terms of daily driving performance, it has been really good experience, and you can see 120Hz is supported all the way. So TestWave website of course shows as 120Hz over here, and here the scrolling, the Twitter scrolling and stuff is perfectly smooth, and everywhere I just feel the UI is buttery smooth, no issues whatsoever that I have faced. Overall, for daily driving performance, I feel this is a really great experience, and even the recent panel you can see how smooth it is. So here you can see the Android Geekbench score with a CPU stress test as well to give you an idea about the overall performance of the device with the latest SparkOS version 13.5.5. I feel this is one of the best ROMs that you can try right now based on Android 13, and this will definitely give you one of the best experiences with a hell lot of customizations and the brand new features like the Samsung DeX kind of feature, which is the desktop mode and stuff. So yeah, all of these things does make this ROM different, and I definitely feel this is one of the best experiences that you can get out of an Android 13 ROM for Redmi Note 10 Pro as of right now. Let me in the comments what you guys think. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. This is Tito from KDN Tech signing off for today, and I'll be catching you guys in the next one. Bye now.